Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the iRacing Esports Network for the Apex Racing League TCR Championship, the Winter Series, of course, here presented by Apex Racing TV. Andrew Woodhouse and Adam Bath here on the commentary, and Sam Kumar will be providing the cameras from the circuit Gilles Villeneuve in Montreal, Quebec, Canada. Good evening, Adam. This is a great circuit, of course. We do love it here on the channel, and we're going to get three great races, I'm sure, tonight.
Yeah, after racing at Interlagos last week, I think the great racing's just going to keep on continuing here at Montreal. It's a 2-week stay in Canada for us. We're here at Montreal this week, and then next week we're at the home of the former home of the Canadian Grand Prix Motorsport as well. So 2 great weeks ahead. And yeah, I know you've won here before in this series quite a few years ago. Those that have joined us over the years probably know that quite well by now. But yeah, we know how to drive a touring car around here.
Yeah, it's been said many times, but I do appreciate that it gets brought up every time. It's a fantastic circuit. It's one that I really enjoy. I think it's just the flowing nature of it. I think it suits my style, and I tend to carry a lot of entry speed to the corner, and I think that's what you need around here in order to be successful. You have to also dice with the walls. You can see the drivers gambling quite a bit with the concrete along the circuit, and it's fine margins around here, as we've seen so many times.
Yeah, Wall of Champions is going to be, of course, an area to watch out for. This area of the circuit, at least that's what I'm looking at the moment, is the first chicane, where they go right and left. That was the area that caused so much controversy in the Canadian GP earlier in the year. And then, of course, you got the main overtaking point at the hairpin just before you get onto the longest straight on the circuit, which is the back straight. So plenty of opportunities for these drivers to get overtakes done around here. Qualifying is currently headed by Ross Balfour, who did exceptionally well at Interlagos last week, considering that he is pretty much a one driver effort really for core sim racing. And then it's George Simmons in second, Jack Sedgwick third, Ben Palmer fourth, and Dan Kraft in fifth. Sim Sports Racing USA doing quite well in recent times. The championship standings after 6 race meetings is as follows. Ross McFarlane leads Jack Sedgwick by 42 points. Then it's Nick Foggy third, Jamie Rushworth fourth, and Chris Wood in fifth. You can see the points on your screen there. After that, in sixth it is Jack McIntyre, and then in seventh Adam Hedgecock. You can't see him there because he is, of course, an AM driver. And it's joint David Baker and Miguel Freitas, 1,191 points. And then it's Alex Simpson and Dan Kraft behind him. The points starting to get a bit more significant because after Motorsport next week, I think we have about 1 race meeting left before the Winter Series Showdown gets underway, which I think will be taking place just before Christmas. So looking forward to that. There's the Pro-Am points. Adam Hedgecock leading Mark Woodhouse by not much. Must be so. That's 63 points. Quick maths there. Then Kip Stevens, Michael Blake, Paul Smith there in fifth, and then John Roberts, Rob Graham, Rich Warmingham, Anna McNally, and Simon Field completing the top 10 there. Some really decent drivers that I think if we were racing with them, we'd probably be behind them as well. So Pro-Am is pretty much a loose term, I must admit, in this series.
We get utterly smashed.
Yeah, we'd get done. Yeah.
As we've seen in the past, we do race against quite a lot of these guys, and often are behind them. Looking at Woodhouse there, and he's obviously a man on a mission here as well for Team Mad. Sorry, for Smile Times Immortal, it is a version of Team Mad, of course. 4 minutes to go in qualifying then. Ross Balfour is on provisional pole at the moment. The Northern Irishman going exceptionally well, it has to be said. 3/10 clear of George Simmons. Oh, and just as we say, Adam, Jack Sedgwick goes to the top of the charts with a 1:44.3, a quarter of a second faster.
Yeah, great time by him, and the quick times are starting to come in now. Mark Woodhouse does a 45.417, so another very good lap there by him. 2 Pro-Am drivers inside the top 15 too, as we look at Sedgwick again.
really shot to the top of the timing screens in the purple in the first 2 sectors. That's what did it for him, as he allows the Sim Sports Racing USA cars through. Who's on the lap? They lock up, go slightly wide into the chicane at the back of the circuit.
Ash Sutton up to 16th. Former British Touring Car champion with a 1 minute 45.4. There he is now, just going around the right-hander. But there was a big crash last year. That was where Brendan Hartley vaulted over the after a crash with Lance Stroll. Yeah, his home race. Chris Woods and Colin Cunniff moving up the field. Cunniff a 45.002 up to 7th. Chris Woods putting in a 45.2. Just 0.2 of a second separates the best part of 8 cars. That's the continuing trend of how close it is here in the ARL TCR.
Yeah, it's a great time for the Scotsman Cunniff up into P7. Excellent stuff. Just
Like
7 tenths behind, but into P7. That shows just what the top 3 have had for breakfast, really, because Simmons in 4th is half a second down.
David Baker up to 4th, 44.7, just to make things even more tighter at the top.
Looks like the track is evolving at the end of this session, because everyone seems to be going quicker. McFarlane goes faster there on the 144.9, easy for P7. Wojciech Svidovic up into 11th place with 45.0.
Well, as we know, it does take a while to get these cars up to fully operating temperature and speed. From our exploits in the BSR TC on a Sunday, it does take us probably around 3 or 4 laps. Sutton up to 2nd, sorry, with 9 thousandths of a second away from Jack Sedgwick with a 44.326.
It does appear, Adam, after last week's shenanigans, it does appear that quite a lot of people are banned from qualifying, which you know something about, don't you?
Yeah, you join us in qualifying, which many drivers are banned from.
That is at least 9 of them, it looks like.
Yeah, one of the dozen, I think. Cars that haven't set times. Boosted Sean Gardner and John Roberts, and boosted Alex Neller, and boosted Adam Hedgecock. I think that's all of it. Jake Blackhall in the night race. Sorry, I haven't said that. I think one of them might have just put in the time. Adam Hadfield, Miguel Freitas not setting a time. Of course, he's level on points with Dave Baker going into this race meeting. Paul Smith's at the back too. And then Night Rider Motorsports teammates Jake Blackwell and Rusty Laidler. So, yeah, all of those yet to set times or are not going to be able to set times because they're not allowed to.
No, and that'll be for various reasons. Various reasons. They're boosted, yeah, it looks like. Dear me. I was trying to think of a word that ended in Ted to describe the fact that they've been banned from qualifying, but Hedgecock crashed. Oh dear.
There we go. Booted from the sim.
Yeah.
Adam Hedgecock.
Oh. Sedgwick goes back to pole again. Just ahead of Sutton.
1/10 of a second. So very good lap by Sedgwick there at the end of the session. Checker flag is now out, so everybody's got to set their times now.
Yeah, they do. This is the time where you've got to pull out your best lap of the race meeting. Car's going to be right on the edge, and in some cases maybe over it. Down the long back straight, then we're looking at Nicole Foggy. Is he on a flying lap? Sector times are decent. Going into the final chicane, chucks it in, bounces over the curb. Want to avoid the wall of champions. Nicely done. I would say to the right for the quickest line. What's he going to do then? Going to be anything for Foggy? Oh well, no, it isn't. No.
I'm sure there's someone racing today with one hand.
Well, Chris Danes. But is he racing tonight?
Not too sure. No. Yeah, I was having a look to see if he is for Brit Tech. Can't see him, but yeah, I did see that on social media.
It's been the odd Brit Tech car in this, hasn't there? But not many. Wojciech Svidovic is on a great lap though. He looks like he's going to give it a slipstream.
Getting it off the pole sitter Jack Sedgwick as they come through the final chicane. Who was that in the background flying over the curbs? That was Woodhouse.
Svidovic to the line then. See what he can do. Can he get onto pole position? No, but that 1/10 of a second improvement Gets him up 6th place. He was in 15th, up to 9th now.
Nestled nicely there.
Comparatively with Sedgwick here.
Yeah, it is. Savidovic nestled nicely inside the top 10.
But still in that top 10 at least. We'll be grateful for that.
I think our last competitor to cross the line is Chaz Draycott, who's coming into the final corner now. I saw his liveries on the Facebook earlier. Looking good, coming for the final corner over the curbs.
Oh, and he's
going down. It's a shame.
Doesn't complete the lap. Look how close it is between Savidovic in 9th and down to 16th Dan Kraft. It's about 1500ths of a second.
I'm sure when we run through the grid in a few moments' time, there's going to be a few cars that have set identical times as one another. I'm sure of that.
It's
of course,
there's one or two actually.
This is the only qualifying session of the evening, isn't it? Where we get to see everybody's representative pace, because of course race 2 and race 3, that's when the reverse grid comes into the equation.
A few drivers who struggled as well in that qualifying session. Some very quick drivers who would look like they're 1.5 seconds down or so.
And let's find out which ones they are. We've got the grid up on the screen now. Jack Sedgwick starting on pole, Ash Sutton starting alongside him. That's a clash of the Titans at the front. Ross Balfour in 3rd with Nicole Foggy 4th. Then it's Sven Glatzel, the German, in 5th, back to his best, really. That was a really good lap. Baker in his customary 6th place. Then Jason Cooper, Automech.co.uk, back in the top 10. Then George Simmons, Wojciech Savidovic, 2 teammates. And Ross McFarlane complete in the top 10 there. Then it's Ben Palmer and Johnny Brandon, 11th and 12th. And then moving on further back, we have got Colin Cunniff in 13th place, Rushworth 14th. Then Michael Hall, Dan Kraft, Pete Newman for Knight Rider Motorsports there in 17th. And then Adam McNally, Excite Racing in 18th. 19th for Chris Wood and 10th Rich Warmingham. 11th for Pete Harrod. 12th for Mark Woodhouse. And then we've got Jack McIntyre, Christian Rose for CQR, completing the top 24. And then 25th, David Von Breck, the Belgian, for Boosted Simsport. Then Ferenc Kern in 26th. He's moving up the order as the German there. Michael Blake in 27th. Then Chaz Draycott there in 28th. Kip Stevens down the order there in 29th. And then Lars Van Ryn in 30th. Martin Sampson, Rob Graham. And the Irishman Simon Field, Julian Janowski, Scott Malcolm, and then the cars that didn't set times. Miguel Freitas, Adam Hedgecock, Jake Blackcall, Adam Hadfield, Paul Smith, John Roberts, Russell Laidler, Sean Gardner, and starting at the back in 44th place is going to be Alex Neller.
I did say when Ferenc Kern gets it, he's going to be very good indeed, and we're seeing that slow progression he's done in the past. Here's the 5 red lights then. We're going to be racing in Montreal. Now, green light is on. Really good start by Sedgwick. Got away beautifully. Sutton not so much. He's under a bit of pressure from Foggy. Foggy might try and go around the outside, but Sutton sticks it out. Holds the inside for turn 2. Looks like he's out of there cleanly. What of everyone else though? Are they going to be out of there cleanly? We've seen some almighty crashes, including one big one down this straight. Oh, bumping and banging between 2 of the Apex Racing UK cars.
Oh, slowdown for one of them. That's Wojciech Savidovic. So the reigning champion, his evening gets off to the worst possible start, and he's got to wait for the whole field to get by.
Yeah, and he can kiss goodbye to a good finish here. He might even be able to kiss goodbye to a good evening, even if he doesn't serve that slowdown quickly.
Close battle here for 8th place. This is Michael Hall. Quite a lot of Sim Sports Racing USA cars here. There's 2 of them, Hall and Palmer.
Yeah, Hall's just gone past Johnny Brandon. And then behind them is another one, Dan Kraft, Sim Sports Racing USA. Looks like Van Ryn might have crashed, actually. And it's Ferenc Kern as well.
Well, we big him up, and then that happens. Not too sure how that came about.
Big one, Brandon, Hall, McNally, Rushworth, it looks like. There's been an accident.
Been a big one somewhere.
It looks like it's been, oh, there it is. And that is Julian Janowski, who is that the hairpin?
Yeah, it is, yeah.
It's the outside of the hairpin. Let's see it. Oh, it's from behind. It gets nailed. So I think it was, is that Blackhole that got nailed under braking?
I think it might have been because he's jumped back to the pits already.
Blacko looked like he got nailed by one of the Sim Sports USA cars, or vice versa. They went into Julian Janowski.
Jamie Rushworth dropping down the other
Rushworth.
again. He's off the first corner.
He's facing the wrong way. Don't exactly know how that's happened, but the former champion down to 33rd position.
Problems for a few champions then in the opening lap. We've had Wojciech Savidovic with the slowdown, and then Jamie Rushworth off at the first corner as well. But it is Jack Sedgwick that leads the way after the opening lap. He's ahead of Nicole Foggy, and then it's Ross Balfour and David Baker who are pretty close over the fight for the final spot on the podium as we look here at Michael Blake.
Now we change the focus to the biggest battle in the midfield, it looks like, and that's McNally, Newman, Wood, Warmingham, Savidovic, Woodhouse and McIntyre.
Like Anna McNally racing with VR. He often has a live stream going on social media as cars brake heavily for the hairpin again. And just if you look at that shot there from the hairpin, there's battles everywhere you look. Where anywhere in the field there's a scrap going on. But a race alongside the rowing lake from the 1978 Olympics. Looks like car 102 is under some pressure. That is Ben Palmer feeding the heat from George Simmons. That was in the foreground of the shot going into the final chicane. Oh, and a slowdown for one of the CQR cars. That's one. That is David
Baker.
Oh no!
Oh! They come past there too wide. One of them had nearly disappeared. Jack Sedgwick leads the way by 1.2 seconds, but it was the fastest lap by Nico Foggy on the previous time round. This is Adam McNally coming under pressure from Miguel Freitas, then Pete Newman behind him.
And a good start to the race for Freitas. He's one of the biggest movers in the field. He's about to gain position number 12, and he does, up the inside of Adam McNally into the chicane.
Yeah, nice move there. Nice and clean. That's what you've got to do around Montreal.
Oh, another slowdown penalty, this time for Christian Rose, it looks like.
Wow, a lot of slowdowns. A lot of very good drivers getting caught out around here. It is an easy track to do so. A lot of corners that you can accidentally cut. And look at this for Ash Sutton. He's broken away from this battle, but he's dropped down from second on the grid, Adam. It's not been a great start for him.
No, it isn't. We usually expect to see him. What's
happened to Michael Hall?
I think it might have been clipped there, but might have been by Colin Cunniff, not too sure. They both showed up as having crashed on the event viewer for us.
Oh.
I think it is going to be a tale of the evening, really, because it's such a heavy braking zone. If you get onto that speed threshold, it comes up as saying that they've crashed. So I think we're going to see a lot of that tonight. There's a Cunniff on the back of Michael Hall.
It's just a very slow corner in this car, isn't it?
Yeah. Yes, it is. Nico Foggy, fastest lap of the race. I wouldn't be surprised if it was first gear, to be fair. Here it comes, the reigning champion. He's on the comeback trail, and this could be one place here.
He's trying to go around, well, he's going to make it the inside, although there's a car also on the apex. When he gets there, that's Dan Craft. He's trying to force his way through now, Wojciech Savidovic, trying to get back those places. He's already done a good job of getting a few of them back. So his race pace is obviously pretty decent. I imagine the same, very similar setup to what Jack Sedgwick has up front. Dan Craft fighting back though, he's not going to give up.
It kind of looked like he might have tagged the wall there. Wojciech Savidovic, you're right, good move there. Maybe Michael Hall, Dan Craft might have been serving a slowdown penalty. Maybe that explains why he was so slow on the front straight as Wojciech sets up Colin Cunniff, and he's going to be at the inside.
Cunniff then, who did a great qualifying. It's under pressure now though, from the Apex Racing UK driver, Apex Racing team, sorry. And on the outside of him is also going to come Dan Craft. So Craft up into 14, Savidovic up into 13. Then you've got side by side behind them between McIntyre and Woodhouse. McIntyre on the inside, Woodhouse on the outside. Behind them is Chris Wood. Wood and Woodhouse in close company.
Woodhouse top AM driver, I think, at the moment in 17th place.
Yeah, he is. David Van Broek is the second placed AM driver at the moment.
So he's doing quite well at the moment as the Belgian for Boosted Sim Sport. Going through the final chicane is Chris Wood there. He's the meeting the sandwich. He's the pro driver in amongst the pro-am field, basically. Is once again you see a whole load of cars taking evasive action in the background of that shot, as it looks like we're going to have an issue with quite a few slowdowns today, as the drivers are trying to utilise every last bit of this Montreal circuit. As here is McNally fighting away with car 999. That's Freitas. It looks like it might be McNally trying to get the position back.
Well, and we're also going to see, no doubt, a few drivers getting hit over the chicanes as well, causing slowdowns that way. This is another peril of the Montreal circuit. Here comes Draycott then. Having a look on McNally. Oh, it looks like a slowdown for him.
It's almost like blowouts in real life, isn't it? It's just tyre blowouts at Indianapolis or something.
Oh.
So, Chaz Draycott, another.
Anybody? Yeah.
No. Yeah. Jack Sedgwick then, just approaching the halfway mark. We haven't really talked about him, but he's got 3/4 of a second lead over Nicole Foggy. There you go. It is pretty quiet at the front. It's probably as quiet as it is anywhere in the field at the moment. Apex Racing team driver doing a good job with XVR Sim Racing's Foggy second and then Balfour third. It looks reasonably close in a fight for fourth between Glatzel and Sutton. Sutton was set the fastest lap of the race on the last lap, so he's obviously trying to catch the V-Racer driver in front.
I will say though that the gap at the front is as small as it's been. Oh, that's off the wall for Glatzel. I'm sure he just bonked the wall of champions there. And there's a slowdown in the background for Joe Simmons.
Yeah.
Up the inside, Sutton and Glatzel.
Oh.
These two can get very, very feisty indeed. We've seen that many times.
Well, that was a first meeting between them there. Fastest lap of the race again from Sutton on that last lap. Sutton up the inside. The car was almost out of control as he flew over the inside curb through the centre S. And then got a little friendly tap by Glatzel in the follow-up to that. So I'm sure that's not going to be the last ding-dong between these two, as they use all the curbs again, going through the next of these chicanes and onto the next quick straight we've got here.
Looks like Pete Harron's been off somewhere as well. I think he was quite a way down anyway. I think he was down in 39th place, so I think he's lost a fair amount of time with whatever excursion he's just been on. And we are going to see it here actually. Coming into the final chicane, bounces over the curb. Oh, crash!
Kern.
Ah, yeah, and that's where he was off the track. He wasn't off by much, but he was on the grass there, coming out of the final corner.
It's not the widest track in the... Yeah. Bit of a deformed front end there. It is difficult to completely destroy these cars, but soldiering on nonetheless.
I think you need to put a nuclear bomb underneath it to actually destroy one of these. But and even then, it'd probably still only get a meatball flag and have to go back to the bits. Here's Ross McFarlane. It does make for some fun racing, but sometimes it can mean the drivers can get a little bit too excited, me included. As
another slowdown penalty for Simmons. That's two in the space of 2 laps.
Yeah.
Well, I know the feeling.
Yeah. Not like Le Mans, where we must have had 200 slowdowns. I think it might have been more than that, to be honest.
Well, that was tactical, though. I must admit.
Simmons is still in P12. He says Christian Rose has crashed. I think that might be the case. I think he might have at least gone off briefly.
I wonder if he gets on the anchors because he realises if he doesn't serve his slowdown, he's going to get a black flag or something.
Oh, there it is. Yeah. That's the slowness of it. But to be fair, Adam, even though he hasn't hit anything, it has the same effect of a crash in terms of how many positions he's lost.
Yeah, he's way down the order now, down in 32nd place.
So he was going really well, by the way. Sorry to interrupt. It's Lawrence Van Rijn in 24th, and then you got Rusty Laidler in 27th. Those two have really caught my eye in terms of how they're doing.
Well, Laidler started right at the back for the start of this one. Didn't take part in qualifying, but He and Lars van Ryn, yeah, they are moving up the field nicely. Here is Lars van Ryn. He's got Chaz Draycott for company. Draycott, he also is on the comeback trail after a slowdown earlier. Is the Englishman going to look at the inside? The man from Cheshire? No, he isn't. But
very slow through here. And Wojciech Svidovic up to 12th. I hope that's not a result of another Simmons slowdown. Now here is Draycott, looking right at Van Ryn. Oh, Van Ryn's blocking the middle. What's going on here?
shades of Hill and Schumacher in 98 almost as we go to the final chicane. Oh, there's movement. Someone's dropping down the order. I think it might have been Dan Kraft potentially.
Wasn't best pleased about that was he?
No.
In 98, they weren't happy about that, either of them.
Well, Schumacher went on to win that one, despite getting a penalty for inadvertently taking out Heinz-Howard Franson.
Well, it's the 25th anniversary of Adelaide 1994 as well yesterday, I believe. So that's how long that's been going on.
Oh,
what's happened to Adam Hedgecock? Oh, and he's backwards in one of the chicanes. That is the turn 3 and 4 chicane.
Right, here's the replay. We've got loose on the grass.
Oh, and then he gets hit. One of the CQR cars just couldn't avoid him.
Yeah, was taking the Sebastian Vettel line there, wasn't he, through turns 3 and 4?
Yeah, there was nothing he could do at all, really, in that one. Adam Hedgecock, and neither could the man who hit him. I don't even know who that was really that hit him. I would imagine it might be Christian Rose.
Might be Warmingham, potentially. It was an XVR car, I think it was, anyway. Scrap at the front.
Okay.
Just over 5 minutes to go, and it's down to 0.6 of a second. It was as high as as high as 0.9 of a second, I should say, a couple of laps ago.
Look how much this field is spread out at the very front. This is touring car racing at the highest level. They've really got the car dialed in perfectly to how they need it to be. Oh, Sutton's gone off, and Cooper goes through. We haven't mentioned Jason Cooper at all tonight, but he started in 7th place, which is great anyway. And he's still running up in 7th place. He's just overtaken a BTCC champion.
Oh, and he's coming back at him. That's not a place to overtake Sutton, as for the right-hander. Looks like Cooper still might be serving us something. Maybe he might still be serving a slowdown penalty. Not too sure. He was very slow through there. Oh, he's not there anymore.
He's got damage, has he? Has he got damage?
Damage to the front right. I'm not too sure if that is. It does say he went off the track a couple of moments ago. Maybe that might have been as a result of that. The car's crabbing. You can see from the.
Yeah, it did not look like it was turning left properly. I was just talking about Cooper, and that's not from that little. I don't know what the hell that's from.
Well, he went off the track earlier and came back on, and then it said he crashed. So not too sure.
He didn't crash into Sutton, did he? Did him and Sutton crash into each other?
Maybe Sutton was letting him back through, but nonetheless, a Baker up the inside.
The gap in the field is fairly big, so you might be able to survive for what is essentially 3 laps, isn't it? That all he has to do. He might just be able to finish ahead of this group, which are, I believe, about 10 seconds in front. He is about 10 seconds in front of him. What's happened to Sedgwick? Oh, it's got a slow down, hasn't he? Jack Sedgwick got a slow down penalty. It looks like, anyway.
That's the only logical explanation I could think. Anyway.
Yeah, I imagine that's how the lead changed hands. Ross Balfour now is very close to Sedgwick. How's he lapping? He's lapping very nicely, in fact.
Another slowdown for Wojciech Svidovic. He's down to 20th place. So just when it looked like he was gaining all those positions back, he's right back where he started, pretty much.
If you were playing the slow down penalty drinking game at home, we're sorry, and we will send letters of condolence to your friends and family.
Oh dear. Yeah, hopefully you've got plenty left.
Inebriated. Meanwhile, Cooper's a bit dead in the water here. He's just doing the best he can to survive at the moment. Down to 11th. I mean, if he's lucky, he might finish in the top 20, but I think he'd have to be very lucky indeed. He's got about 6 seconds to that big group that's coming down, involving Chris Wood and the like. So
I was watching an old British touring car race earlier from Snetterton, the old Snetterton, where I think Gavin Smith in his Vauxhall broke the right rear suspension, and he was able to carry on for 2 whole laps to finish 4th.
Wow.
The field was spread out pretty much there as well. Dan Craft on the inside of David Von Brex. But the boosted car's coming back.
Kip Stevens is a decent race as well. He started in 29th. Yeah, the Old Pits used to run there, and the track then used to go right through like an infield section and come back on about there.
Yeah, you can always see where the service roads that it's now used. Oh,
what's that? That's rated into the wall.
Oh, he's taken the route back onto the circuit. That'll probably be a slowdown in itself.
What happened? Did he get hit up the rear? I was looking at the timing screen. So there's another slowdown in the background as well for not Michael Blake, Laidler.
It looked like, yeah, it's one of the KRO cars, I think. So it would have been Laidler. Yeah, he's got Lars Van Ryn for company.
Oh, and then he comes back on. Turns right in front of Van Ryn. Van Ryn's thinking, who's this guy? Get out of the way.
What happened to Freitas was a quarter panel basically. He was on the outside going into the chicane, and then the car cut across him, and then he had to go into the wall on the outside.
Well, Jack Sedgwick was really pushing on the last lap, as you can imagine. Yeah. He gained half a second on Nicole Foggy on that lap, and he is within striking distance. If he has a perfect final sector and then a perfect half a lap, he may have an opportunity.
Yeah, we need that striking distance graphic up on getting invented for the stream.
Well, we can see the striking distance. It's right there on this one. Palmer and McFarlane. So you see the Rowan Lake there on the right. And he's gone a bit deep as Palmer. He's going to take a penalty for that. Sedgwick sets the fastest lap, and he gained a second on Foggy.
Remarkably, Palmer's now he serves his slowdown as the 2 V-Racer cars go by, so that's up to 4th and championship leader McFarlane into 5th. But you're right, the gap is up down to half a second, and we've got Canada's known for its famous finishes. Remember 2011? And
another slowdown in the background for Cunniff, I think.
Yeah, I think this track's going to be up at Cota levels for the amount of fume that we're going to get from the drivers for this one. Cota's bad for the off tracks.
Well, we've been racing here for 5 years. We've been seeing races here for 5 years. I don't think I've ever seen so many slowdown penalties as this.
Surely they would have practiced this track and realised that if I go over this by that much, I will get a slowdown penalty. Down to 2 tenths in the front, by the way.
There's been too many slowdowns that drivers have been getting on their own with no assistance, for my liking, I think. So yeah, it's on them really. I can understand if drivers are getting punted across the course, like we were saying before. Now this is the one. This is the final opportunity of the race for Jack Sedgwick of Apex Racing Team versus Nicole Foggy of XVR Sim Racing. Coming into the final corner here in Canada. Let's see what happens. He's going to the outside, is Sedgwick. This is going to be a really big move. If he can get this one done round the outside into the final chicane, they bang wheels. And Foggy slow goes, and then Ross Balfour. Ross Balfour's going to come and nick second place on the line. Foggy, then Balfour, Sedgwick in 3rd. I tell you what, that was a great job by Balfour. He just picked the bones of that battle.
He might have had a chance of a win if things had taken a turn for the worst. It's still very close into the final chicane here. Cooper's trying to slot in. He's got McIntyre in front of him and Kraft behind him. Wojciech is there too.
He just needs to hammer it to the line because he doesn't have any straight line speed either. I think he's going to just get there. That's a great job by Jason Cooper to hang on to 15th place. Really good.
Yeah, I'm not surprised he's pulling over and exiting out straight away, but he's had enough of driving that. Look at this. This is Graham v. Gardner going into the final chicane.
Gardner's got a great run. Gardner's got a terrific run. I think the line's going to come too quickly for him, though. Is indeed. He backs off and takes 38th place. Sean Gardner was a race winner in the BSRTC this season.
We have had cars reverse across the line at this circuit before.
Rob Plumley.
I think that might have been was that the race you won?
Yeah, I think it was. It was one. Yeah, I think it was. I remember Smolensky and Plumley crashed at the final corner. Then he did instead of doing a J-turn, he just reversed it to the line, which I think, to be fair, was the most efficient way for the old Kia. It was quite quick in reverse, to be honest.
I remember Rob Graham getting second. It might even have won, and then getting his results stripped away from him because of a post-race slowdown.
I'm sure he'll love you for that when he listens to that back. Can we say? I wonder if we can just have a quick look at the. Oh well, maybe not. But here's the results.
We can have a look at it afterwards. And Nick Foggy wins 0.3 of a second ahead of Ross Balfour in the end. Jack Sedgwick down to third. Sven Glatzel in fourth with his teammate Ross McFarlane in fifth. Good points there for the championship leader. Then it's Ben Palmer, Johnny Brandon, the two teammates of Baker and Sutton, and Michael Hall completing the top 10. Then it's George Simmons, countless slowdowns, and finished in 11th. We could almost do with trying to work out where these drivers would have finished if they hadn't have had these slowdowns. Mark Woodhouse wins the AM category in 12th, and then Chris Wood 13th, Jack McIntyre there in 14th, then Jason Cooper, Dan Kraft, Wojciech Savidovic yo-yoing his way down to 17th in the end, and then David Van Breck, the Belgian, second highest AM driver, completing the top 18. 19th place for Kip Stevens, 10 places gained for him there, and 20th for Adam McNally. 21st, Miguel Freitas. Not a bad race result, I should say, considering that didn't take part in quali. Then Chaz Draycott, Adam Hadfield, Michael Blake, Colin Cunniff down the order there in 25th. Then Rusty Layla, Rich Warmingham, Christian Rose in 28th. 29th for Lars Van Ryn, 30th for Martin Sampson. Jamie Rushworth there in 31st. He had issues right from the get-go here. John Roberts in 32nd, then Paul Smith. I think he was caught up in the melee at the hairpin on the opening lap. Pete Newman, then Julian Janowski, Pete Harrod, Rob Graham down there in 37th, Sean Garner behind him. We saw how those guys finished. Then Scott Malcolm, Adam Hedgecock, Ferenc Kern was around quite a lot in that opening race, plus he had a slowdown too on the opening lap, which didn't help either. Then Simon Field.
He gets around.
Yeah. Beach Boys and Ferenc Kern. Trying to see the... that could be a tribute band, I don't know. 12 laps down, Jake Blackhall. He was out of the race pretty much at the hairpin. And I don't know if Alex Neller got caught up in it with him, but either way, the Booster SimSport car has not had the best start to the evening. He finished in 44th, 13 laps down.
Yeah, and even though we had quite a few problems for certain drivers throughout, it once again shows the durability of the Audi TCR, the fact that only 3 drivers were not classified. But now, it will be time for the reverse grid wheel, and Sam Kumo is going to be the man who has the responsibility of seeing who's going to go into pole position. Adam, I think on this track, getting pole position is very important because, as we saw, you can get a large field spread at times.
We saw that right at the very front. But in the midfield, though, it was pretty interesting, and I think that's going to get brought to the front with this reverse grid. So looking forward to seeing who's going to be on the pole.
Yeah, the wheel has gone round, and it is 20.
Oh, there you go. 20th Adam McNally for Excite Racing. He's on pole with Kip Stevens second, and completing the top 3 is David Von Breck.
All right. So, well, they're going to have their work cut out for them to keep everyone else behind. But it's going to be fun to watch when we come back on the iRacing Esports Network as the Apex Racing League TCR Winter Series continues.
Growing up as a kid in Oklahoma, where I'm from, the Chili Bowl is the biggest race that we have. The Chili Bowl has kind of been my favorite race of the year. Growing up a dirt racer in Oklahoma, that's kind of the holy grail.
Coming for a splash. Three, two, one, now. All clear. Punch it. Great job. You did really well.
Welcome back to the iRacing Esports Network and the ARL TCR Winter Series here at the Circuit Gilles Villeneuve in Canada. Andrew Woodhouse and Adam Bath here for Apex Racing TV, with Sam Kumo providing you the camera footage of race 2 of the evening. And Adam, it's a reverse grid race, 20 cars reversed, so there's going to be some drivers really fighting hard to get through the field.
Yeah, 20 is an interesting number, really. I don't think it's the smallest we could have got, but it does spice things up nicely, and I'm looking forward to seeing what's going to happen here, because of course we've got the Pro and the Pro-Am drivers mixed up a little bit now as the drivers try to test the exploits of the final corner. At least that's what I'm seeing anyway. Drivers flying over curbs and hitting the wall of champions. But the big talking point from race 1 was the slowdowns. I wonder if we'll see more of them in race 2.
Well, they do need, the drivers do need to maybe put a little bit of caution into the game. I mean, there must have been, I don't know how many slowdowns they were, but potentially like 40 or 50 slowdowns in that first race, and that's quite crazy, really. Just give yourself a bit more margin, and you're going to finish the race well.
Just under 10 seconds to go, and then we'll be advancing to the grid. And we'll be getting the second race underway at a very sunny Circuit Gilles Villeneuve. Oh, one of the Apex Racing team cars goes flying into the wall. 44 degrees track temperature. That's almost as hot as what we had at Interlagos last week.
Yeah, and it really is. It really is punishing for the tyres on a circuit like this, where you've got a lot of quick changes of direction, things like that.
Grid on the screen then. It is Adam McNally on the front of the grid, with Kip Stevens in second, David Von Breck in third, fourth it's Wojciech Swidovic. So the slowdowns may have helped the reigning champion there. He's starting inside the top 5 with Dan Kraft in 5th and Jason Cooper on the front row. Sorry, on the 3rd row. I think that's pretty much where he started in race 1 as well. Then it's Jack McIntyre, Chris Wood, Mark Woodhouse, and George Simmons rounding out the top 10. The rest of the grid cycling through the screen now. You can see Dave Baker there, Nicole Foggy, the race one winner, starting in 20th, and then everybody else as completing the rest of the grid, which is made up of 43 cars. Jake Blackwell on the back row, all by himself.
Yeah, tremendously sized grid for this one. And what can Adam McNally do from pole position? Can he get the Excite Energy car away efficiently? Let's see. 5 red lights on again. Lights are off, the race is on. Terrific start by McNally, got away very well, promptly off of the grid. Kip Stevens got away well too, as did Wojciech Savinovic. There's a bit of jostling in the middle. Some car, there's a crash at the back. 4 cars involved, Kearns involved, and Woodhouse and Blackhall.
Didn't he? Yeah. He just did not move at all when the lights went out.
Maybe Scott Malcolm as well. Maybe Woodhouse not quite ready for the start. But it's McNally who leads, Savinovic in second, Kip Stevens in third. He's having a look at Savinovic now, as he's just been passed by the 5-time champion. Just behind them is David Van Broek, and then Dan Kraft, Jason Cooper, Jack McIntyre, Chris Wood, Ash Sutton, George Simmons is the top 10.
Fantastic start by Wojciech.
Gone
On his back again. Looks like a potential change for lead. Wojciech Savinovic up the inside of Adam McNally. Is he going to be able to get the move done into the chicane? It looks like he's already clear as we go into the right-hander. Oh, and McNally gets hit by Stevens.
Yeah, that's bunched everything up. Wojciech Savinovic will be absolutely cackling away at that. He's got pretty much a second lead now of absolutely nothing. And it's one of the SimSports USA cars in the barrier, sideways with one of the V-Racer cars, which looks like Ross McFarlane. It is!
Championship leader in big trouble there. He's down to 37th.
I wonder if he's going to be able to keep going. Can he keep going? Who knows?
Right, up to the chicane for the first time then. Dan Kraft trying to get by, or trying to stop getting passed by Jason
Stevens
Cooper.
is lost it under braking nearly. Sorry, Adam, but I just saw him flying almost into the back of McNally.
Yeah, that's the cold break. Looks like everybody taking the chicane. We've almost got a camera fixed on it now.
Into the wall! Into the wall! Somebody's gone into the wall of champions. It looks like the SimSports USA car. I think it's Palmer.
Yeah.
Palmer into the wall. And sideways for Laidler. Just in behind him as well.
Car off at the centre S. That is Michael Blake in the Small Time Simulator car. He's not having the best of evenings, really. He was involved in that massive crash at the start line.
Yeah. Well, I don't think it was him. I think it was Scott Malcolm.
Oh, right. But anyway, here is the replay. Watch Mark Woodhouse. We're going to go, and the Small Time Simulator car is either not going to move far or not going to move at all. Here we go.
Well, Woodhouse is moving the wheel.
And off we go.
He just doesn't get away, does he? What's going on?
Hardware failure, or I don't know. He managed to get on the grid, so it's not as if he went to the loo and he missed the. He
was moving the wheel. He was moving the wheel side to side, so I have no idea what happened. It caused all manner of chaos around him, though. Stevens is somehow down to 7th. I don't know if that's a slowdown penalty as well.
Blackwell's returned to the pits, hasn't he? Oh dear, so his second race in succession has gone badly wrong for him.
Oh, look at this for a battle. Foggy, Glatzel, Sutton and Freitas. That's for 15th, 16th and 17th and 18th.
Well, big names involved in here, of course. Glatzel was finished in 4th in race 1 with McFarlane behind him.
Stevens is in a lot of trouble. Don't know if that's damage. But here's Foggy flies across the chicane. Sutton trying to catch Glatzel napping here. 2 cars that slow down. Chris Wood is 1 and McIntyre I think is the other. Oh, contact Sutton and Glatzel. That might be a bit of payback for earlier on.
It was in that part of the circuit, wasn't it? There's Scott Malcolm rejoining the circuit as well in the background. Every time that camera pans outwards, you see a Small Time Simulator car there.
In a little bit of might have been a little bit of getting the elbows out there. Just really wanted to keep that position, Ash Sutton, but the end result is Glatzel going off onto the grass. Chris Wood still serving his slowdown penalty. Again, on the first 2 laps, you cannot get a slowdown. It's just imperative you avoid those.
Yeah, any other time is better than the opening 2 lap to get a slowdown.
Pretty much.
You'd rather take one on lap 3 or lap 4 than on lap 1 or lap 2. Is a problem
Kip
for one
Stevens
of the.
coming
Yeah.
to the pit as well, sorry.
Rich Warmingham is
Oh!
trying to get by
that
Paul Smith.
Yeah, he is past Smith. Smith getting on the brakes and clipping the grass. And look at this behind them, Harrod and Hedgecock fighting away. Oh, it's Graham and Harrod, sorry. Oh, down the inside. Smith's left the door open. Graham says, I'll have that. A Scotsman up into 23rd.
See what Paul Smith has in response as they go down the straight. Is there going to be a bit of free wide as Pete Harrod fancies his chances? He's in the slipstream of Rob Graham. Is he going to stay there, or is he going to back off as we go into the chicane? Smith around the outside.
Smith going to the outside of the chicane. Oh, he's been turned. Bang! Into the wall of champions.
Yeah.
Beyond for New or Quebec. That's not the welcome he wants. Oh, there's something going on at turn 1. We can hear it.
Yeah, here tyres screeching. We might see it in a minute as the. Oh, I thought we were going to see a car rejoining. Too sure it was. I think it might have been. Glatzel. Sutton passed P13 on that turn.
This is a terrific scrap. Hedgecock and Pete Harrod side by side there as well. Adam Hedgecock's really had a great season in the TCR car since it's come out. Really been strong in that. It's only 6/10 for the lead as well. Wojciech Svidovic not having it in his own way at all.
Oh,
what's going on? Oh, that's Simon Field facing the wrong way. And it's very difficult to turn these Audis around, it really is.
oh, trust me, yeah, we know all about that. Not because we've been offloads, but
Well,
because of the turning circle that we got in these cars. This is Cooper,
Foggy.
and he's gone into the side of Nicole Foggy. So that's Cooper up to 10th.
Yeah, strong racing at the hairpin. Quite sure exactly what happened. Might have been a bit of understeer for Cooper. But here's the lead battle, and it's interesting, isn't it? Wojciech Svidovic, if he is to win a 6th championship, Adam, into the wall goes Kraft, and behind them, it's only a slight tap, but don't want any taps to the wall, really. It can break the suspension in this car. Yeah, if Wojciech Svidovic is to win a 6th championship, he's going to have to do it through consistency, because, harsh as it may sound, he does not have the speed this year.
It's been really interesting to see this season how Svidovic has got on, and so far he's on for one of his best results.
Saying that, he's in the damn lead, isn't he? I mean, you can't really say that, But I think he's going to have to rely more on these reverse grid races than in previous years.
Well, in the championship, he sits in 27th place. At least that's what I think it is. Anyway, I don't know whether the stat sheet might not have been updated recently. He's only won 1 race as well, so right now he's on course for race victory number 2. He's been on the podium 3 times as well.
Yeah, but it's been feast or famine for him, hasn't it? 3 podium finishes, and the rest have been pretty low finishes. Well, most of the races have anyway. This is Cedric and Johnny Brandon battling away.
Yeah, Cedric, who pretty much, I think he led the most laps in race 1 before Nicole Foggy got by. And right now he's got Johnny Brandon for company, as you said, going into the hairpin. Not going to get by around the outside there. There's the Core Sim Racing car at the inside. That's Balfour and Simmons.
Yeah, that's a battle which has been going on for most of the race.
Simmons using the power on the exit by going around the outside to try and pull back ahead of the Apex Racing team car.
Yeah, what can he do? Simmons still slightly ahead, but he has the outside line. And Cedric goes through on Johnny Brandon into P6. He could still win this race, Adam. He's got the pace. Just set the fastest lap of the race as well in the and again.
45.524. That's 2 tenths of Sutton. 44.9. Incredible lap there.
Yeah, very good. He's in all the traffic though, is Sutton, isn't he? He's got a lot of slipstream.
He's got Nicole Foggy in front of him, who won race 1. Let's not forget. So he's going to be a tough customer to get by.
Oh yeah.
Oh wow!
Well, he's made a bit of a mistake.
See how these cars get out of shape when you fly over the curbs here, and you've got to utilise them at this circuit because it's not the widest one.
Yeah, I mean, it's really encouraged that you use as much of the track as you can on any circuit you go to. But yeah, Montreal does give you the license to clatter a few curbs and really push the limits with these chicanes.
See a ARL TCR car racer to not killed going through the chicane there. That'd be class.
It'd be amazing. Come on, iRacing, get yourselves up to Scotland and scam that one. Oh, slow down penalty for Ash Sutton.
Well, you get the fastest lap and then you get a slowdown within quick succession. That is the life of an ARL TCR driver, I must admit.
That's the one where you're not going to set another fast time.
They are in the process. I thought that was somebody who were lapping there. 55. That was Jason Cooper in the 35 car, wasn't it? Oh no, it was Kip Stevens that they're trying to lap. They're in the process of lapping. That's the Automet car that's in the middle of the field.
He's been in the pit lane already for after he must have picked up some damage on lap 1 because he was very slow. But yeah, he took a visit to the pits and back out again on his way.
Side by side here.
Oh right! Foggy's flying on the inside.
Just about makes the corner.
Well, he had to avoid Stevens, who very politely pulled off to the side in order to let these guys through. He just wants to finish the race, really, Stevens, and get some points. If you do finish one lap down in the ARL TCR, you do score championship points.
And you get entered into the reverse good draw as well. It all depends where the cut-in is. Oh no!
That's Freitas going a bit wide.
Battle for the final spot on the podium is very close between. Here it is. Sorry, it's a fight for 4th. Jack Sedgwick up the inside of David Von Breck and is into P4. Next on the list is a spot at the bubbly with McNally in 3rd.
Might be a little bit the Excite energy for Adam McNally. Depends if he wins, if he comes 3rd here. But yeah, Sedgwick and Baker's through now as well, and Brandon's trying to go through. Van Broek is fighting back. See if there's anything he can do. He does have good straight line spin, that boosted motorsport car. I think he might just keep this one. Van Breek, we'll see.
Oh, and yes.
Brandon's through.
Next up is Balfour. Oh no, slowdown for Dave Baker.
Oh, Baker. Well, we saw in race 1 he had a couple of slowdowns, didn't he? Oh, look. And who's that as well? Sutton again, and Freitas.
999 Freitas, yeah.
Oh dear.
This Chaz Draycott is in the mix of that. He's up to 13th, and he's up the inside of B-Racer.
Oh, 999 needs to call the slowdown police, doesn't he?
Oh, very good. Emergency services.
Oh yeah, for all our American viewers, yeah, that's the 911 equivalent. Now, look at this behind Draycott. Oh dear, I hope he wore the brown pants. He'll need them.
All right, into the. This is where. Oh, did he get a little touch there? Nonetheless, he's still holding on.
I think he locked up slightly. Maybe had a bit of a wiggle. Little bit of the rear wheel slidey. See what he can do then, trying to defend from McIntyre. Oh, he moves back to the racing line. Well, it was only one move, he started off in the middle. He can do that. This is going to be an effort. If he keeps this lot behind him, I'll tell you what, this will be a terrific performance from Chaz. Oh, they're all going for the inside. Sutton's flying on the inside. He's taken Freitas, to be fair to him. Good move there.
Back on the straight they go, and oh no, Draycott's open the inside here. It all depends whether McIntyre can get up the inside. It might be the opening of the floodgates here. We'll wait and see. It depends how McIntyre and Draycott play it.
Well, you know Sutton's going to try and go for any opening he can.
McIntyre's through.
Chaz got a good exit, as did Sutton. Chaz is going to stay in the slipstream of McIntyre. Sutton is through. Sutton's car dancing around all over the place. Must like the car on the edge, really.
There is Ben Palmer. He's got Freighter's for company. He's also got Rushworth and Christian Rose. Jack Sedgwick is up to third. He's got past Adam McNally. However, it is now a 4-second gap bridge between he and Dan Kraft if he wants to get all the bubbly in this.
The bubbly. And Wojciech Svidovic is in possession of the biggest bottle of bubbly at the moment. And about 0.8 of a second clear of Dan Kraft. So it's been a good performance by Wojciech Svidovic, because we said he didn't have like tremendous pace, but he's been a lot more consistent in this race than he was in race 1. Of course, he's picked up a few slowdowns actually in race 1, and just one slowdown here could lose him the race, and he's been very considered about that. Here comes Nico Foggy, then he's on the move. He's trying to get past George Simmons. Foggy started 20th. Ross Balfour in front of him started 19th. Did Van Broek miss a gear then?
That's sure. He's in top gear now. He's in. See that he's in 6th, down through the gearbox into 4th. There's a lot of curb there.
Yeah.
And a slow down as a result.
Oh, that's a bit harsh, isn't it? Really. Seems it. And there's a few. Look how many of them. They're almost crashing into each other, trying to get over to the left-hand side to serve the slowdowns.
2 lanes on the front straight, isn't there? There's the slow down lane and the racing lane, pretty much.
We need to get the Canadian authorities to put some markings down, just for their benefit, really.
The slow down shoulder.
Yeah.
Or the slow down toll.
And there's Stevens. Well, yeah. Need to pay that. Definitely in Canadian dollars, of course. Oh, what's this?
Graham v Blake. And behind them is Simon
Cunniff. Yeah, immediately behind them is Colin Cunniff, who's been lapped. As Blake goes for the inside on Rob Graham.
Up the inside.
Oh. Graham's still got the inside for the left-hander.
Oh, fortunately for them, Cunniff goes a bit wide there. Fortunately, there's enough grip on the outside so that you don't just go flying into the wall. That's my biggest worry of ever seeing cars go too wide through that right-hander.
Yeah, and we've seen it in the past, for sure. Graham now trying to hold the inside line so that Michael Blake doesn't get an easy way through. Gets a good exit, nudges him. He's going to stay to the inside, surely here. Surely he needs to stay almost on the white line into the hairpin. If you allow the opponent to get up the inside into the hairpin, Adam, you might as well kiss goodbye to the position. Speaking of a kiss, right on the back bumper.
Yeah, you can try and risk. Yeah, he's going to be up the inside. What can Graham do to stop him? The answer is probably not a lot, as flying down the straight they go. Watch out for Simon Field. He's really caught up to these guys, and he might fancy his chances of crashing the party.
How has Simon Field done that in one lap? Because he was behind Cunniff when we saw him. He was right in the background. He's obviously got good pace in that car. What was his last lap? I want to say this lap time. Oh, they were doing 48s, that's why. And Field has done
46, 3 seconds quicker.
49s they did on that lap. Yeah, 46 for Field. That's why he's gained so much time. Meanwhile, at the front, it is all up for grabs with just 1.5 laps to go, Adam. We've got a fight on our hands now for the victory.
Yeah, they go under the bridge where a man said goodbye to his shoe and broke Danica Patrick's race. Hard on the brakes into the hairpin. And Savidovic covering the inside, similar to what we saw with Rob Graham on the previous tour. Adam McNally continues to descend down the order, unfortunately.
Only once have I ever seen a man say goodbye to a shoe. Could be twice now, though.
I haven't seen it, we just saw the effect of it, didn't we? And Danica Patrick knew all about that.
Oh dear.
win was in the bag, pretty much. On the brakes into the chicane, Wojciech Svidovic is going to have to go another lap if he wants to get his race victory in the bag as he slides through the final corner.
Oh, bouncing across the curves is Balfour and Brandon and Foggy. It's very, very close at the front, though. This final lap's going to be great.
Scraps everywhere you look. This is the fight for best of the rest between Brandon and up the inside. Was that a little nudge on Balfour, maybe? Hard to tell, but it's still...
they're all bunching.
Concertina in full force here.
I think we need to look at the front, to be honest. I really do. It's 0.3 of a second.
Coming up to lap, Mark Woodhouse, who did get going in the end.
He's going up the lead. Oh, he's not the lead lap. Yeah, he's just got a bit behind.
I wonder if he might play a part in this at all. I wonder if he's giving Wojciech Svidovic the necessary slipstream to just keep him ahead of Dan Kraft for now.
Possibly. Svidovic might not actually want Woodhouse to get out of the way here. I think he will have to yield at some point, though, the Smile Time Sim Auto driver. So half a lap to go in this race 2 here at Montreal. Wojciech Svidovic, 5-time champion. Dan Kraft, many times race winner in the old BSR-TC, now the ARL TCR series. This is the moment, as it was in race 1 then. 0.4 of a second. I think you're right, Adam. He's getting the slipstream just enough to be safe, I think.
Oh yeah, take a mammoth effort from Kraft to stop Wojciech now. It's 0.3 and it's not coming down by much. It's too much for him to send it up the inside into the final corner.
You do not want to slow down penalty, though. This is the key. You've got to be careful. It's a great run by Kraft. It's a terrific run. He's down to 0.2. He's trying to get slipstream. But it's going to be Wojciech Svidovic who takes race 2 just about. Tremendous stuff from Svidovic. And that's his second win of the season, I believe.
Yeah, second win. Personal best on that final lap as well from Wojciech there. Oh no, slowdown penalty for Jack McIntyre. Someone sliding across the line.
Sutton, I think.
That was Jack McIntyre that was serving it. Look at this. Inter-team. Oh my word!
What's he doing to him?
Inter-team rivalry at its biggest here. This is all of automech.co.uk going into the final chicane.
Oh, well, who knows what's going to happen here? Bouncing over the curbs, they take each other out. True fashion, but Graham Hadfield and Janowski survived to take their places in the 31st and 32nd positions.
Drag race to the line, and it's Ferencken versus Automech's John Roberts. Yeah, sorry, Boosted's John Roberts. Yes, and it's Ferenc that comes out on top there.
Where did John Roberts start that one? I feel like he's maybe started at the back, did he? Yeah, he started near the back, 32nd place.
Still, second race victory of the season, as he said, for Wojciech Svidovic. Go with his win at... oh, goodness me, trying to work out where it was.
You'll do well to remember. Was it Road America?
Going to look now for you. It was at Sebring.
Oh, Sebring. Yeah, I knew it was an American track.
And there you go, the results are on your screen. Wojciech Svidovic wins, Stan Kraft in second, Jack Sedgwick in third, 4 for Ross Balfour in the end. He was just 0.4 of a second ahead of Johnny Brandon. Nicole Foggy, the race 1 winner, finishes in 6th. George Simmons 7th, and then Adam McNally, top Pro-Am driver, in 8th. Just under a 10th of a second ahead of Jason Cooper. That was exceptionally close. Then David Baker in 12th, Sven Glatzel 11th, David Von Breck in 12th, second highest stamp driver yet again. Then Ben Palmer, Ash Sutton, Miguel Freitas, then it's Rusty Laidler in 16th. That's a very good drive to get on the podium in the Pro-Am category. Jamie Rushworth in 17th, then Chris Wood in P18, 19th for Chaz Dracos, solid drive as well, and Rich Warmingham in 20th. Jack McIntyre, slowdown penalty very late on for him, results in a 21st place finish. Then the two Sim Sports Racing USA teammates of Harrod and Hall. Adam Hedgecock, 24th, Christian Rose in 25th, Lars van Rijn in 26th place. And then the two small-time teammates of Michael Blake and Paul Smith. Summerfield, the Irishman in 29th place in the end. He got past Graham and Hadfield, who were very close. Janowski there in 32nd, and then Lorenz Kern and John Roberts having a photo finish of their own in 33rd and 34th. The cars that were one lap down or more, Woodhouse, Stevens and Malcolm, all three of them will pick up points. And if we do get a full -1, it will be Kip on the pole. The cars that didn't finish the race, however, Colin Cunniff 2 laps down. I did see him circulating, but obviously 2 laps down, not enough to score any points. Sean Gardner 8 laps down, Newman 11, Blackhall out very early on. Second time tonight that's happened. Ross McFarlane, championship leader, was off before the hairpin. We saw that. And then Martin Sampson 12 laps down. I'm guessing he was involved in the start line pile-up. Not the first time we've seen a Woodhouse be involved in a wreck at the start-finish line at this circuit.
Oh dear, that got me a couple of penalties, did that one? Yeah, not the best. But I did get going off the start, in fairness. So there we go.
You got a very good start, I remember.
I got a great start. It was what happened shortly after. That was the problem. Sam Kumo has the reverse grid wheel for us.
That's right, the wheel is on your screen and let's spin it. It feels like it doesn't almost matter what we get here because the slowdowns that will be playing big part here.
It's true.
But it's gonna be a big one. 45.
Oh,
45,
wow.
that's nearly everyone. So who was the last? Can we get the results back up just to see who the last classified finisher was?
We know that Kip Stevens would have been it if it was a full -1. The last car one lap down was Scott Malcolm, so 37 cars reversed. Kip Stevens going to be second, Woodhouse third, Roberts fourth, Lorenz Kern going to be starting fifth. I think this has got the makings of a classic on it all over.
Yeah, this could be great, and you don't want to go anywhere here on the iRacing Esports Network because we'll be bringing you this reverse grid race after the break here from the circuit Gilles Villeneuve.
Growing up as a kid in Oklahoma, where I'm from, the Chili Bowl is the biggest race that we have. The Chili Bowl has kind of been my favorite race of the year. Growing up a dirt racer in Oklahoma, that's kind of the holy grail.
Coming for a splash. Three, two, one, now. All clear. Punch it. Great job. You did really well.
Welcome back to the Apex Racing League TCR Winter Series here on the iRacing Esports Network. Andrew Woodhouse, Adam Bath and Sam Kumo bringing you all the action for Apex Racing TV. Right, race 3 of the evening, reverse grid. It's a massive one. Pretty much all the classified cars, in fact every classified car has been reversed. So Adam, over 30 cars will be swapped around for this one.
Yeah, I think 37 to be precise. Scott Malcolm is the lucky beneficiary. He's going to be right at the front for this one, and quite a massive opportunity for some of the pro-am drivers to get a win on the boards. There isn't too many pro drivers around them whatsoever, so really intrigued to see what's going to happen in this third race. I think we could be on for someone's first win of the season, Pat.
Very possibly. There's quite a bit, because overtaking is not super easy around here. Yeah, it's going to be a bit more of a struggle for the really fast competitors to get through from the back. Some fast drivers out the front as well, some race winners, some guys who've contended for championships in the past. So we'll see how they line up, and we're going to see how they line up in just a few seconds. But as the sun sets here, it's going to be slightly cooler, maybe slightly faster lap times. The tyres should be eased somewhat.
Yeah, it's probably not going to be anywhere near the 40 degrees plus. Oh dear, is there dress rehearsal perhaps?
That's a fairly sized crash for practice, is that? Must admit.
Tell you what, I'm surprised we haven't been to Bathurst this season. We have.
Oh.
I don't know if that's still to come actually. I don't know, but
We've had a couple of the mother of all smashes up there, dear me.
Yeah.
Stefan Hoog, I remember, sideways in the track.
Oh, I remember some big ones going down the Conrod Straight as well for that one.
Oh, yeah.
Scott Malcolm then starts on pole. Kip Stevens, two-time champion, starts alongside him. Then it's Mark Woodhouse. Hopefully he can get away for this one. Then John Roberts in fourth. Then Ferenc Kern in fifth.
Ferenc Kern's going to be so nervous, isn't he? After Woodhouse's non-start in the last race.
I think he's got the wheel anchored to the right, ready to go. I think. Then it's Janowski, Hadfield, Graham, Field, Paul Smith in 10th place there. Then it's Michael Blake, Lars Van Ryn in 12th. And then the rest of the grid on your screen, the top 20 completed by Draycott and Chris Wood. Ash Sutton's there in 24th. He's gained a lot more positions than that to win a race pass. See if he can do that here. Here we go.
Here we go then. Race 3 of the evening at the circuit Gilles Villeneuve. We're away. Doesn't seem like a lightning start from the guys at the front. Good start by Stevens. He's drawing alongside Malcolm into turn 1. Malcolm into one with not a lot of commitment, and Kip Stevens takes the lead. The veteran surging into the first place then.
Fantastic start for him. Roberts
wow, look at this night. It does amaze me, Adam, every single week we see these cars. Just the amount of cars in the big grids flying through these tracks.
Looks like a slowdown already for Christian Rose, and that's...
Oh, he's got to try and get out of the way!
Oh, no, he's been bulked big time here.
They really need to be careful. There's someone sideways, I think, in front.
Yeah.
Oh, into the wall is Laidler. Rusty Laidler into the wall. And that is... Oh, crash! Oh, the track is blocked. The track is blocked.
Now...
Oh, is it going to be a safety car?
Do I know how to bring one out? Because we do have this at our disposal. Do we need to bring one out?
Well, it's gone now. It's cleared. It's cleared.
All right, okay. I had the button ready. I was at the ready to do it, but it looks like they've sorted it out.
It does look like it's cleared. Oh dear, somebody's missed the corner. Down the hairpin. It might be Dan Kraft. It's had a bit of a nightmare down there that time. I don't know how that all started, but we'll find out after we've done a lap or so, when we finish the first lap, see what the standings are like.
Oh, big one.
Into the back straight then. Yeah, and that's Rob Graham. It's in the middle of the track.
Oh,
careful.
You don't want to look at that. Yeah, you don't want to look at all the cars surging towards you at 100 plus miles an hour here. But yeah, Rob Graham, that's not the evening he wanted.
Oh no! It's a good job we cut away from that one, I think. Here's David Van Broek then. He's in 19th place. Well, we did think that there might be an incident or two. What this has done, I tell you, Adam, it's really helped out some of the guys near the front, hasn't it? Because some of the guys who are really quick were involved in that.
Yeah, race 2 winner Wojciech Swidericz being one of them, Adam McNally, that was in the top 10 at the end of race 2.
Van Ryn.
Oh no.
Slow down
for the boosted car. Here is Ash Sutton, who's on the move. He's gained 8 places. It could be about to be 9 as he goes up the inside of Chris Woods.
Could be a dark horse for this one if he keeps it clean, Ash Sutton.
Oh.
Draycott, slow down.
Draycott. Oh no. Down the order he goes. So that's Sutton up 10 places now. He's gained 2 since we've just been looking at him.
Hashtag slow down Chaz.
Huh.
Side by side Van Broek and Palmer. And as well.
I think 2 small-time teammates are also wheel-to-wheel. Paul Smith and Mark Woodhouse. You can see that in the foreground going into the chicane.
Yeah. See that inter-team battle then. Now that's going to sort itself out. Paul Smith up into 8th.
Someone's in the wall. It's Blake.
Oh, Michael Blake into the wall of champions. Big problem there for him. Let's see.
Just following the Apex car, that would have been...
I think there's been a crash for Sutton as well when we come back. Oh, has he just lost it, has he?
Oh, yeah. Similar to Villeneuve, really.
Sutton's crashed, and I think a couple of others have as well.
Oh, we're looking on board here with
Oh
Sutton.
no, it's just a slowdown. Does have some
Yeah.
damage on the front left corner though as well. Oh, and that's Chris Wood. Also had to drop down the order as well. I tell you what, the front guys are going to be ecstatic that Sutton and Wood have come to grief, because it gives them a much better chance.
It must be so difficult if you're the driver behind the driver that gets the slowdown, because you will almost certainly follow their line at times, and then you're just going to get a slowdown penalty with them as well. At least that's probably what I'd do.
And then you're going to kind of follow them again when they go to actually serve the penalty and nearly run into them, which I think we've all done. Stevens continues to lead. I don't know how many races Kip Stevens has won in this series, but I think it's in double. It would definitely be in double figures, I'd imagine. And,
Yeah.
well, certainly. Even since his 2 titles, I think he's probably won 8 to 10 races. I would say.
Well, he's in 19th in the standings. He's yet to win a race this season. In fact, yet to stand on a podium. So this could be a golden opportunity. Here's Ferenc Kern, by the way.
I might be able to get a little bit of the bubbly. Oh, Kern and Hedgecock.
Well, he is a double Les Champion, is Kip
Oh.
Stevens.
He is.
I did see that Chris Jericho video you sent me, by the way. Very good.
All the bubbly. Hadfield's looking for some bubbly as well. Fastest lap for him. And then Palmer fastest lap. 45.5.
It's not too far away from the one that Sutton set in race 2 of 44.9. Time that the former BTC seat champion set in that one. Looking here at Ben Palmer, the fastest lap of the race going to, it was to him. Now Dave Baker's just gone and trumped that with a 45.4. He's currently running in 26th place though. Oh, something's kicking off in front of us here. That's
That's
an XVR
that's an XVR. Foggy, I think it is it? Trying to get through on Pete Harrod, it looks like.
huge queue here. You've got Kern and Woodhouse going wheel to wheel. Sorry, it's Kern and Hedgecock.
Woodhouse just behind.
Through goes Hedgecock. Now here comes Woodhouse. Oh, that's close. That is very, very close. Squeaky bum time there, getting on the brakes. Oh, and who's that at the inside? That's Smith.
Oh, yeah. Smith and Hedgecock, you mentioned Bathurst. Paul Smith's won at Bathurst, don't you know?
Well, we haven't mentioned that in a while. Anyway, down the back straight.
For at least 3 weeks, probably.
It's boosted, then it's small time, then it's small time. I bet you Paul's mentioned it on his stream by now. Kern up the inside of Woodhouse, maybe?
That's Woodhouse going through on Kern, I think. His hole. Oh! Oh, looked a bit squeaky bum time.
Oh no, is that a slowdown for Paul Smith?
Ah, it is. And for Chris Wood again. I'm seeing the same people getting in trouble with these slowdowns. Balfour.
Yeah. The slowdown warden is going to be getting so much commission from this.
Yeah, can you imagine if there were fines handed out for slowdown penalties? Be rich. Balfour. Oh! Balfour's trying to get in amongst the Simsport Racing USA cars. Ferenc Kern's having to get his elbows out. Balfour trying to come through.
Paul Smith's on the comeback trail as well. That's him there up the inside of Dan Kraft.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, just behind Palmer, sorry, yeah. 3/10 between Stevens and Janowski.
Now then.
Oh, it was, but I think Janowski's got a slowdown.
No.
He's got a slowdown. Oh, it was looking so good for him. No wonder he gained all that time. He cut the course.
Well, I tell you what, the Automech team could be getting the photo camera out still. A 1-2-3. I don't know when the last time a team did that in this series. Is very much still on the cards.
I've got a feeling it may have been ERT last season.
Potentially,
Maybe?
yeah.
Who knows?
The famous
Oh,
ones that the famous ones that stick in my memory was what's happened to Ferenc Kern? Has he gone now?
Ferenc Kern and Michael Hall got a slowdown at the same time.
Oh right.
I think they might have. I don't know.
They're still here. Maybe they both got on the
Oh.
anchors really big going into
Maybe the
the
hairpin.
hairpin. But yeah, the two standout 1-2-3s in my memory were Pete New and Media and the Apex Racing team back in 2015.
Chris Wood again. Another slowdown. What are you doing, man?
Where's he down to now? It's down to 26. Remarkably, he's only lost 6 places from where he started.
Somebody needs to tell him there's no reverse grid in this one. In the next one.
What's
Ross McFarlane. Oh, no, Ross McFarlane. Who is it?
That is Ross McFarlane.
Who's gone down the order though? No, it was Ross McFarlane. He's lost several places.
This is going into turn 1. Is it going to be? Oh wow!
What a spin!
Lost on entry. Maybe carried too much speed going in there. Not too sure.
I'm amazed he didn't just bash the power down and try and. I don't know. I've seen a couple of spins today. Have they changed the car so you can't save it as easily with the front wheel drive or what?
Or whatever it is, it's not working too well for Ross McFarlane today. It's not been the best race meeting for him. He should still comfortably make the showdown though. Woodhouse comfortably getting past Hedgecock before they even get on the brakes into the hairpin. That's the Small Thompson Mortal Khan up to 7th place.
Yeah, good battle as well. Just behind them. Ferenc Kern at the front of that one, then Michael Hall, then Paul Smith, Dan Kraft follows him. Then McIntyre having a look at Kraft actually. He's trying to just get alongside. He might have the overlap here. Oh, this is a great view from Matt Sutton.
Right, where do you go here? He's looking left and right. Then he gets on the brakes just before the 2 cars in front of him do. Oh no!
Oh, contact! Oh, then Sutton's piled. Oh!
Someone finishes the job.
There's nothing where he could go. Oh, there goes. Who is that? Kraft, yeah.
So he got sideways. He got hit going into the corner, and then the CQR car, whoever it was, finished the job.
Yeah, it was Sutton, wasn't it? We were on board with him. Woodhouse is up to P6. Oh, look at that. Hedgecock and Balfour side by side. It's a good little scrap. Foggy is up to 5th as well.
Whenever we look at them, these guys just keep gaining places. This battle's just moving further and further up the order as Balfour looks up the inside into...
Look at the lead. We need to look at the lead battle now.
Oh,
it's 0.2 of a second.
Assertive there. Yeah, Stevens and Hadfield, 1 and 2 for Automech at the moment. .co.uk leading, Automech Knockhill in 2nd.
Well, it was down to less than 0.2 when I saw it.
Yeah. Get this battle on the... Yeah.
Get it on the screen, man. Oh, he's wide. Give Stevens is wide.
Now, one way you can differentiate is the zip. On Stevens, it's orange on the left, blue on the right, and then the other way around on the Hadfield car.
Yeah.
One way of telling them apart. Black mirrors for Hadfield too, and he's up the inside.
He is. And Stevens doesn't defend that one, so Adam Hadfield up into the lead.
Slowdown penalty.
Slowdown for Roberts. Oh.
That might promote Janowski into 3rd place. It does.
And it's going to promote Foggy as well.
Oh, okay. Now this is going to be pretty interesting because Nicole Foggy won race 1, and now he's got 2 pro drivers and a pro-am driver in front of him for another chance at the winning trophy.
And he was 2 seconds quicker than Adam Hadfield on that previous lap.
It's got 7 minutes to get by. Not too many laps left because it is, as it is in most tracks on the iRacing series, throwing cars along lap.
As you said, for Automech, they have Janowski and they have Stevens, 2 guys who aren't that easy to overtake. But I think Foggy's in the process of doing that to Janowski.
Yeah, we're going to see them any second now come around the corner. There you go. They're quite a long way behind, I must admit. 4 seconds.
Janowski's got a lot of experience. And if Automech have got this right, they'll be telling Julian Janowski over the radio that he needs to hold up Nico Foggy. It's essential to winning this race.
Even if it's just for another lap or so, because by the time we complete this lap, we'll have about 14 and a half minutes on the clock. And after that, you've got about 17 minutes left. 17 minutes completed. So here we go.
Hello. Foggy's going around the outside. He can't make that work, can he?
Looks like he might. Janowski's still there though.
Both got good runs out of the corner.
Oh, he's squeezing him.
Well, that's one way to assure the 1, 2, 3, isn't it?
By hook or by crook?
Well, let's see then. How much of on the crook scale is he going to go though? Oh, Foggy's very late on the brakes there. Late on the brakes, nothing Janowski could do.
Right,
He's up
gap
into third.
4.3 seconds as he comes out of the chicane between Foggy and Stevens.
Now, what does Martin Brundle always say? That when Foggy gets to Stevens, and he might well do that, he needs to treat that ultimate car like the back end of a donkey. Might kick you at any moment. I think we've had some more slowdowns, by the way.
Yeah. So Hedgecock, Palmer, and McNally potentially.
Yeah, most likely.
Look at this. This is the continuing scrap overnight between Hedgecock, Malcolm, the Polster and Palmer.
Oh, that was a robust move there by Michael Hall. Sorry, Palmer. Then Palmer. He's got ahead of Scott Malcolm. They do work well as a team, do the Sim Sports Racing USA drivers. We've seen that tonight.
Cars just scattering everywhere in the background. You've got one Chaslington car there. That is Draycott. Or who else would it be? Got Sutton on the comeback here. You've also got David Von Breck, and you've also got the XBR car there, Warmingham.
And we've not mentioned Jamie Rushworth since he was facing the wrong way in race 1, and there he is though. Up 5 places from where he started. This is Richard Warmingham coming under a lot of pressure then from Sutton. Sutton nearly runs into his own teammate.
The front of Sutton's car is remarkable.
Yeah.
And Warmingham pulls back ahead of the CQR car.
Sedgwick's Sedgwick on the back of this? Yeah, he is.
Yeah, it's about to make out the red car in the foreground.
Was he in that first lap nonsense, was he? Or did he just have to start? No, he would have just started near the very back.
Yeah, he would. Yeah, he would have started 30 spot in the
35th.
Yeah. Oh no, is that a slowdown for Sutton?
Sutton again, yeah.
Now it is difficult because obviously he's got the front of the car up, and it depends on what field of view he's got. He might not be able to see where the left-hand curve is.
That's true. People on the red. Oh, contact, and that's Baker going into the side of Sedgwick. I don't see Jack David Baker crashing into many people, but apart from Adam Bath, but yeah, that's a rare one. Caught
yeah,
on
I don't know what he had for me that day. Yeah,
I think he hit you more times than I think I've ever seen him hit anybody.
I did get three disqualifications that night, I must admit.
Yeah, one of them might have been to do with that. Very close between
Balfour and Hedgecock.
Just immediately in front of them. Well, this is another battle that's immediately in front of the other one. Oh, contact! Hedgecock has to go across the grass. That's going to be a slowdown penalty.
Yeah, even though he's probably lost time by going across the grass, yeah, that is a slowdown penalty.
He's lucky he didn't break the suspension as well, because that sort of contact can do that. Kern trying to make his way through. Smith out dragging Rushworth out of the hairpin.
There's that slowdown for Jamie Rushworth. The purple mirrors is not going very quick at all. I'm just working where that slowdown would have been.
It just seems like CQR just have been slowdown central today.
Oh,
Seem to have had more than nearly anyone else. Unless you count Chris Wood, who I think's got that one covered.
now update on the lead. Last time around it was a 44.8 for Foggy, and that is not going to be enough because we have got 90 seconds to go. So this is the penultimate lap of the race, and he's going to have to go a lot quicker than that if he wants to get to the two Automet cars at the front of the field. As it gets very close to the wall there.
Yeah, these two going quite quickly now that they've stopped. Now that Hadfield's in the lead, they're going a lot quicker. So I don't know if Stevens has just found a bit more in the tyres or what. we race against Kip as well quite often, and sometimes he does just get these races where he seems to be really, really quick, and then you get others where he seems to sort of go a bit missing. But
Well, I remember when he was in the showdown in 2015, and until him and Wojciech crashed out at Mosport, he was right up there, and he would have shouted the title.
yeah, could have won it.
Could have won it there. In
Was
fact,
that the year
the
that Simon Field was in with the shout of the title as well?
might have been. Yeah, and that was him colliding with Wojciech was the incident that pretty much ended Wojciech's chance of the title. It was down to Job and Katz after that.
Now, has Chris Wood got another slowdown? No, he hasn't. He's just in Midland. Scott Malcolm, there's a problem for Malcolm. That might be damage, is it?
Very slow. Looks like that might be a slowdown.
Did he get a slowdown at the hairpin? Oh dear. Well, if he did, that's an unlikely place to get one. He might have been punted across the inside of the hairpin potentially, as well. Ross Balfour's got up to 5th ahead of John Roberts, so that's a good move by him. Smith and Sedgwick side by side. Smith tries to hold on, but Jack Sedgwick too strong this time. The pole sitter on race 1.
Sedgwick got to P13 then as a result of that. That overtake. Paul Smith still giving it all he's got, as you would expect, to try and get back by, but through that chicane there,
Final lap then for... Sorry.
Yeah, that was just... No, that was... Yeah, final lap of the race.
Sorry, mate. My head's in the clouds today. Adam Hadfield, though, final lap for him. And what a story for Automeg. That stable have been terrific in this race. And they're going to get... It's not a true 1-2, is it really, Adam? Because they are different teams, of course, technically.
It'll still be a great result nonetheless, especially for the Automet.co.uk team.
Yeah, and Adam Hadfield's really gone from strength to strength this season. And he's going to punctuate that improvement with what's to say is a pretty dominant win in race 3 of the evening here at Circuit Gilles Villeneuve. He crosses the line. Adam Hadfield takes the win.
Great drive by both he and Stevens. It's going to be Foggy that completes the podium, puts a personal best in on that final lap as well. Maybe if he had one more try, he could have maybe gate crashed their party. It's very close between Ferenc Kern and Paul Smith on the run to the line. Who's going to get it? It's going to be Kern
Just Ferenc Kern.
Yeah. Top 13 finish for Ferenc. That's it's not too shabby for him there.
Yeah, he's done really well tonight, I think. You can't underestimate those 2 drives in the top 5. Outside of the obvious 3, Hadfield, Stevens, and Janowski, who stayed up in the top 10 from where they started. But Nico Foggy, Ross Balfour, both 29 positions gained. Foggy started 32nd, Balfour started 34th. And they have come home with 3rd and 5th. Tremendous stuff.
Yeah, they were 1 and 2 in race 1. Of course, Balfour snatched 2nd away from Jack Sedgwick in the dying embers of that opening race. But yeah, fantastic drives from those 2 to get up there. Other notable...
Great start as well, because to avoid that accident, those 2 accidents that happened.
Oh yeah, because the track was pretty much blocked, wasn't it, on the exit of one of these chicanes on the opening lap. Other notable drives: 23 places gained for Sedgwick, 19 for Ross McFarlane, which was remarkable considering that we saw him off earlier. I'm amazed at that. Anyway, here are the race results. Adam Hadfield wins. Kip Stevens in 2nd, a 1-2 for Automec. Automec not killing first, Automec.co.uk in 2nd. 3rd for Nicole Foggy, completing the Scottish field to the podium really. Scottish team 1 and 2, Scottish driver in 3rd. Union Janowski finishes in 4th. It looks like the Automec team are going onto the front straight to do some celebratory donuts. We'll keep an eye on that. Janowski 4th, Ross Balfour 5th, then John Roberts, Pete Harrod, Mark Woodhouse, Ben Palmer, Michael Hall, and Adam Hedgecock rounding out the top 11. Then it's Jack Sedgwick, Ferenc Kern there in P13. I think he's trying to collect the checkered flag, I think. 14th for Paul Smith. Then we've got Rich Warmingham, Chaz Draycott, David Von Brecken and Dave Baker. 2 Daves there, 17th and 18th. I think he's desperately trying to do the donuts, isn't he? Potentially, not too sure. 19th for Jamie Rushworth, 20th for Ash Sutton. Trio of CQR drivers there. Then Scott Malcolm, Jack McIntyre, Ross McFarlane, Dan Kraft, Pete Newman there in 25th, then Michael Blake in 26th. Chris Wood, if he took out all the slowdowns that he had, he probably would have won. He only finished 29 seconds behind the winner in the end. And I bet he picks up probably 29 seconds worth of slowdowns. Johnny Brandon finishes in 28th place. 29th for Lars Van Rijn. And then Jason Cooper in 30th. Colin Cunniff in 31st. Then Simon Field in 32nd. Then Adam McNally, 50 seconds behind in 33rd for the Excite Racing driver. He had a good opening race of the day, to be fair. Then George Simmons, 34th. Not too sure what happened to the Apex Racing driver. They might have been involved in one of the crashes that we had at the start. Christian Rose down there, Sean Gardner, Jake Blackhall. Dear me, that is 3 consecutive retirements for the Aussie. Not too sure what happened to him in this one, but still, that's a pretty awful evening. Rob Graham in 38th, 39th for Rusty Laidler, 40th for Miguel Freitas, 41st for Sven Glatzel. Out of the race, Wojciech Savinovic, 0 to 0 really after the win in race 2. And then bookending the grid, Automech Not Kill winning the race, and Automech Not Kill car finishing last with Martin Sampson.
Yeah, it wasn't the best night for Martin Sampson. Neither for a couple of the drivers down at the bottom there, indeed. But 36 drivers finished in a classified position. So yet again, pretty good attrition rate. This Audi proving its durability here tonight. Right then, do we have anybody to talk to? Well,
Who?
We do indeed. We do have Mr. Chaz Draycott with us in the commentary box. Chaz, can you hear us, mate?
I can indeed, mate. How are we?
Oh, hello. Yeah, long time no speak. It's good to have you in the commentary box. How was that madness out there for you then? Because it looked like it was a heck of a lot of fun.
Oh, it was fun, but I don't know if stressful and fun can be put together. It's just, you know, I mean, we all know what Montreal's like. Narrow walls, plenty of curbs to get loads of slowdowns over. They were menacing tonight, slowdowns. Everyone was getting them, and it was very, very tough to sort of judge it, especially when you're following the car in front as well. You want to obviously look for that curb as best you can, but yeah, everyone was struggling with it.
Is it? Do you normally enjoy these type of circuits, or do you prefer the more open venues like Catalonia that we were at the other week?
In this instance, I mean, I love Montreal as a circuit. I think it's great. I think in this instance, how narrow it is actually helped me a little bit, because there's a bit more of a closer reference point to you based on your pace. When it is a bit more of an open venue, like say COTA, for example, it's hard to make those references if you're following a car in front and you can't quite see the apex you're going for. So, I mean, I really enjoyed tonight. Yeah, it was a good circuit to have, but it's very difficult in these cars. Very, very difficult.
We're just having a look at your start. It looked like you made up many positions through the middle sector on the first lap. Looked quite hairy out there at times.
Yes. Well, me and Ash just had a bit of a chat then about the contact that we made, and we've agreed that it was a racing incident between us, because I maybe turned in a bit late. He was in the middle and committed to turning in. So yeah, we just feel bad on Rusty, and I want to obviously publicly apologise to him for that, because it ended his race, and then obviously the checkup from that did cause the accident behind. But yeah, I mean, other than that, result-wise tonight, I'm well happy. I think I finished 22nd in race 1, then it was 19th and 16th, so a little bit of progress in each one, but yeah, it was mega that.
Well, in a 44, 43 car field, those are some really, really strong results. Definitely well done for that. Are you going to be sticking around for the rest of the season then, do you think?
Yes, yeah, hoping to. I've paid up. I've been practicing, so yeah, it's just incredibly tough. These boys, I mean, you guys know from commentating on it for so long that they're so quick. They're unbelievable.
And driving in it. I mean, there's nothing like sort of a humbling experience when you rock up and you qualify like 39th or something, because everyone's so quick.
Yeah, well, that was me in Interlagos last week. I thought, right, I feel like I've done a few official races. I've got a bit of pace in this car. Let's see how we do. Qualified 46th. It's like, oh great.
But I was going like hell.
Yeah, exactly. You go on a lap and you think, yeah, I'm going to show these CQR boys that I'm not just like some media person. I can drive as well. And then you qualify at the back of the grid. It's like, come on.
And you do feel pretty useless, even though you know you're pretty good. To be fair, compared to everyone else, that's the thing. This is what a lot of people don't realise, and this is what I try to get over on commentary pretty much every week. It's just how skilled these drivers are.
Oh yeah.
That you know, you would beat 99% of the population of the world at this. It's just these guys are in. Well, probably 99.9% of people. They're in the 0.01% of talent, aren't they? Pretty much everyone in this series.
Oh yeah, I mean when you're sort of running around in the midfield like I was then, and you see someone like Jack Sedgwick come up behind you, and obviously Ash as well. Some of the other guys they come up behind you, and you don't stand a chance. I mean, I'm at the point where I think, you know, I'm not slow, but then you go up against these, and you just realise these guys are in a different league. And when it's so close and there's so many people around you on track, sometimes you don't even notice, and they've just gone round you. I mean, I don't know whether you saw it, but Cedric went round like 2 or 3 of us at the hairpin on that second to last lap.
I think me, you, and Adam, I think we're all quite similar in terms of speed.
Yeah.
And we know the feeling, especially in, say, a reverse grid race. If you start in the middle of that pack, you've got slightly slower people in front of you, but you've got all the fast guys behind you, and that's the difficult part. It's not necessarily overtaking the other people, it's keeping the rest of them behind. And I find that's probably the worst place to start, and I think you started there 2 or 3 times.
Yeah. Well, I was in the mid-pack all night, really. I didn't move around too much. I think the highest I got was 15th in race 2, and then I got to slow down and finished 19th. But yeah, it's definitely, you're spot on with that. You've got to think, oh, right, I could maybe overtake some of these guys. When the quicker guys comes through, it's just... Yeah, all right, go on.
Yeah, I think the quick guys get to you a lot quicker than you get to the guys in front. I think that's a lot of time the problem, isn't it?
Yeah,
it's great to have you in the commentary box with us anyway. Adam, is there anything for Chaz, since it looks like our only victim for the evening?
Trademark question for me. We're off to next week. We're off to we're off to Mosport. So from the tight confines of this one to the vast open spaces and a lot of grass runoff areas of Mosport. You looking forward to that one?
I've never really got on with Mosport as a circuit. Something about me doesn't understand it, and I need to really spend next week drilling that in. And stupidly enough for me, I've got my own series doing some pre-season testing next week. So,
oh right,
well
in
done.
Completely different car.
Oh yeah, indeed. Well, yeah, I'm looking. I mean, I always look forward to it with these boys. The CQR guys have been so welcoming to me joining in with the racing again, because since I joined, I've just sort of been doing all the media stuff that I've been cracking on with, and yeah, I'm looking forward to it overall. I just don't think I'll have much pace there, but we'll see. You never know.
Well, you need to have some fun every now and again, don't you?
Oh yeah,
that's it. Exactly.
Yeah, in similar fashion, we've got BSR TC on Sunday. I don't even know where we're going.
Yeah, I've had a small break from that.
still fuming. Probably, I'll probably arrive and realise I've got loads of penalties to serve, or something like that. But anyway, Chaz, before we let you go, do you want to send a quick shout out to anyone?
Yeah, as just mentioned, the guys at CQR, they've been amazing since I joined in. They've really helped me develop, and they've given me a lot of help with the setups. And Dan Kraft did a cracking setup for us tonight. Really flew on that. Felt good throughout the whole race. You guys, as always, been so welcoming and putting on a good show as usual. Sam for doing the cameras as well. Always good to give Mr. Kumo a shout out. Yeah. But yeah, other than that, boys, that's pretty much it. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, just as we see you drift across and get one of the slowdown penalties. Yeah.
Yes.
Great. Yeah, great to hear from you, Chaz. And yeah, hopefully speak to you again at some point in the future.
Yeah. Cheers, boys. Have a good night.
See ya. Chaz Draycott there, always good to speak with him. We do have David Baker actually available. So Adam, take it away with Dave.
Dave Baker, you join us for a quick chat after an eventful evening for the CQR crew, I must admit.
Yeah, that was pretty eventful, but I've just got to say, you guys have definitely cursed me. I was 6th again in qualifying, and then finished 6th for the week overall in the points. So why couldn't you have said 3rd or something like that, or 1st? All these
I
years.
think, yeah. When did we put this curse on you? I think it must have been pretty early into when we started.
Probably about 6 years ago.
Yeah.
In our defence, if you'd have won more races, I think we could have done that.
Yeah, okay, it's all on me.
One word that I think we mentioned quite a lot in conjunction with CQR tonight was slowdowns. It looked like that you were really struggling with them out there.
Yeah, the guys just kept picking them up, and I don't know, wasn't it Einstein that said something like, if you keep doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results, the definition of stupidity?
Well, your words, not mine.
Yeah.
Isn't that why we keep coming to this track every year?
Quite possibly. Tough out there with the slowdowns. I mean, I picked up a couple myself, and they just seemed to be at the most inopportune times that dropped me back.
Well, one thing I was saying was, if you pick up a bit of front end damage, like especially on the front left, front right, I think Ash was getting this at one point. Can you almost not see some of the curbs, like the final corner, for example?
Quite possibly. I mean, I was lucky. I didn't think I'd picked up any front end on my car through those races. But yeah, I mean, just not being able to spot the apex or spot those little curbs, then that might cause you a bit of an issue or two. But I know it wasn't just me that suffered tonight. Quite a lot of people did. So.
But in the final race, so you gained 10 spots. It looked like, compared to where we were at Interlagos last week, this was a circuit where it was quite a bit more difficult to get some of these overtakes done.
Oh yeah, being practically a street circuit with how narrow it is, you're not really going to make moves on people unless they tend to get those slowdowns or lock up a brake or something like that. So it was very, very tough. Obviously, in the last race, there was kind of a pile up on the first lap, which allowed some people to get away, some people benefited from, but. No, good fun, but I'm glad to see the back of that track for another year.
Well, yeah, Mosport next week, from the tight confines of this to the undulating corners of that, it'll be similar to Interlagos in a few respects next week.
Yeah, I think you're probably right on that. With the way the track sort of undulates and has some sort of sweeping turns in the first sector of that, it's very similar to the middle sector of Interlagos. Who knows? Might provide some good racing. Hopefully, this car's going to be better around there than the Kia was, but. We'll just wait to see, I guess.
Great, well, Woody, anything you got for Dave before we let him depart for the evening?
No, just really well done for surviving the 3 races, really. I think, and just racking up more points. I think you got to. Are you looking? Do you think that the showdown is still within reach? Definitely.
Hopefully, I mean, I'm obviously not picking up the sort of the podium points and the showdown points to start. They're sort of being taken very much by Nicole, Jack, and Ross and stuff at the moment. But I think so far my average score isn't looking too bad when you take into account drop scores and stuff like that. So they should all be hitting in the next week or two as we come towards the end of the regular season. So we'll just see how it pans out.
So we just saw on the screen actually the incident at the beginning of the race. Can you take us through what happened with that?
I have no idea. It all just happened in front of me, and I just tried to pick my way through as everybody was kind of strewn by the wayside.
And you did. I think you ended up near the wall, didn't you? And I think that might have saved you.
Yeah, just luckily. Well, I say I got a slowdown on that first lap, so that put me, I guess, maybe behind the accident scene, so I wasn't in it when it occurred.
I was scrambling for the safety car button, but just as I was about to press it, looked like it all cleared itself up. So,
yeah, we're used to sorting out the crashes. Once they happen, we get going pretty quickly. We've had enough practice.
There was a big crash after that on the main straight as well.
I didn't see that. I saw one. I think it was an automech car or something like that, pointing the wrong way down the back straight at one point.
Yeah.
Don't know what caused that, but I'm sure the stewards will look into all of that when they get around to it.
Yep. Right. Yeah. Well, thanks very much for joining us, Dave, and we'll see you at the next one.
Yep. Next one, guys. You take care.
Cheers. You too.
Well, Adam, it's always good to have Dave in the commentary box. Always interested in what he has to say. One of the smarter drivers out there, I think, in terms of how to build a championship. He's very good at that.
Oh yeah, I think he won his 2017, no, not 2017, season 7 title, which was at the end of 2014 with just one win over the whole season, and I think that was at the opening round at Donington, I think. So
yeah, and he really does put the points together consistently. He tries to limits the DNFs as best he can, and definitely all drivers really can learn from him about how really to do that. I think the only person who probably doesn't need that much advice from him might be Wojciech Svidovic, because he's the only one with more. Well, him and Cape are the only ones with more titles.
Yeah. And I think there was a stat at one point that he'd won more on ovals than on a road course in his BSRTC career. At that point,
that is a stat, isn't it?
I think at that point we had been going to quite a few like Twin Rim Motegi and a few others at that point.
I still maintain, I still want this series to go to Martinsville or Bristol one time, just to have a bit of fun. I think Martinsville would be amazing in this car. I really do, but we don't ever seem to go to anywhere like that. So it's my petition. If anybody's watching or listening from the admin team, next season, can we go to a half-mile oval? There we go. Because we went to the 1 mile. Was it 1.5 miles of Twin Ring Motegi?
Yeah, 1.5 miles there.
We went there, and that was, that was very good. I led some races there, even.
I don't think that surely wasn't the only oval that we went to, was it? Go to any others? We went to Pocono.
Have we done Indianapolis Oval before?
Not sure. No, I don't. We definitely did Pocono.
Was that the oval at Pocono, though, or was it the?
That was definitely the oval, yeah.
Oh, that used to be a good one. About 6 wide on the main straight.
Remember the CQR race up liveried cars being involved in a few wrecks in that one.
Oh yeah, they were not happy. But I think we've just run out of time tonight here on the iRacing Esports Network. So thank you everybody for watching. This has been a presentation of the Apex Racing League TCR Winter Series by Apex Racing TV. Adam Barth, Andrew Woodhouse and Sam Kumo. We've brought you all the action tonight, and we look forward to seeing you next time out as well. So from all of us here, it's good night.